All right, here is an example, actually the first three problems for your straight line graph that you had to finish for homework. All right, in the first problem, you are given your equation right here. What you need to do in order to be able to plot that equation on a coordinate grid is you need to figure out what your y values are for the points that you'll be plotting. So here's how you do it. You take negative x plus 2, and then you evaluate it for each of these different possible x's. So for the first one, negative 3 plus 2. Remember, negatives can mean like the opposite. So the opposite of negative 3 is positive 3, plus 2 is 5. Negative 2 plus 2. The opposite of negative 2 is positive 2, plus 2 is 4. Negative 1 plus 2. The opposite of negative 1 is positive 1, plus 2 is 3. Let me give myself some more workspace. There we go. All right, 0, negative 0. You can't really have negative 0. There's no such thing. It's just 0. Plus 2 is 2. Negative 1 plus 2. That's the opposite of positive 1, which is negative 1, plus 2 is positive 1. Negative 2 plus 2. The opposite of 2 is negative 2, plus 2 is 0. All right, now you've got all of your points filled in on your table, all the y values. Now we're going to plot it on a coordinate plane. Let's see. Remember that you plot x first, then y. This is my x-axis that goes horizontally. This is my y-axis that goes vertically. My first ordered pair is negative 3, 5. That means I'm going to find negative 3 on the x-axis. Starting at my origin, I'm going 3 to the negative side. 1, 2, 3. Negatives, the y value is positive 5. So I'm going to go up 5 and plot my point right there. All right, that's my first ordered pair. My next ordered pair is negative 2, positive 4. Going to the x-axis, 1, 2 to the negatives, and positive 4 is up on my y. There's 4. There's my point. Negative 1, 3 goes right here. 0 for an x value means that you are not going to the left or to the right on your x-axis. You're just staying right there. With a y-coordinate of positive 2 means you stay at x equals 0 and you go up 2 on the y-axis. 1, 1, and x is 2 and y is 0. I'm going to plot our point right there. This right here, connecting your dots, is the line you can graph from your first problem. The next problem, which you want to watch out for, is that negative 2. So if you have negative 2 and your x is negative 3 plus 2, you're doing negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6 plus 2 is 8. Go ahead and fill the rest of that table out by yourselves, and then we can plot some points. All right, if you still need more time, you can pause the video, but I'm going to keep going. Here for this next one, we should have, I'm going to fill in the rest of the table. All right, now we're looking at our ordered pairs. We're starting with x is negative 3, 1, 2, 3, and y is 8. Our first dot goes right here. Negative 2, 6, negative 1, 4, 0, 2. Now at this point you should be noticing a pattern. These all represent linear equations, which means they're going to make straight lines, and I can guess what my next point is without even looking at my chart. starting at this one, I see that we're going down 1, 2, and over 1, down 1, 2, over 1, down 1, 2, over 1. Following that same pattern, I think that we're going down 1, 2, and over 1. I think this purple dot is going to be my next ordered pair. Let's go check. When x equals 1, y should equal 0, and that is in fact the point right there. Our next one would be right there. All right, last one on the front page. This one is a tricky one. So, x equals -2. That's -2 divided by 2 plus 3. Following your order of operations, we're doing division first. -2 divided by 2 is -1 plus 3 is +2. Next up, -1 divided by 2 plus 3. Don't panic. This is -1/2. If I have 3 positives and at -1/2, that means I have 3 and I'm taking away 1/2. That leaves me with 3. Take away 1/2. I have 1 whole, 2 wholes, and 1/2. 2 and 1/2. 0 divided by 2 is 0, plus 3 is 3. 1 divided by 2 plus 3 is 3 plus 1/2, which is 3 1/2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, plus 3 is 4. And this last one you do need to simplify. So 3 divided by 2 plus 3. You cannot have a mixed number that has an improper fraction. This is not okay. But you can take that 3/2 and say 3/2 is the same as 1 and 1/2, plus 3 is 4 and 1/2. Okay, erasing my work on top of my grid. Here's how we plot these. -2x, +2y. First point. -1x, +2 and 1/2. Now, if you count your scale here, you see it's going up by 1s. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there is no half, but the half, you know, is right in between 2 and 3. So if I'm going over to -1, here's my next point. It does not fall onto one of these perfect cross sections, but it is halfway between 2 and 3. All right, next point. 0, 3. Then I have 1, 3 1/2, which is going on the line for x equals 1, but it is not going on a line because 3 and 4 are on the line, so halfway between it. And then I have 2, 4. Then I have 3, 4 1/2. So you notice that this line does not increase as steeply as some of the others, but it still does form a straight line. And those are a few hints on your homework. You can do the back page, and I forgot to connect the dots here. You can do the back page on your own. Good luck.